guys, I'm Andrea with Dent Smart. We are starting a new monthly mini-series where we are going to do reviews on a lot of DIY dent repair out there. We're going to call it DIY Dent Repair, Do It or Dodge It. Today we are going to take a look at and review and try out this plastic bridge repair toolkit. We actually ordered this right on Amazon, had a 3.5 out of 5 stars, a lot of good reviews, a lot of semi-okay reviews, but it's definitely one of their #1 top sellers when it comes to this. So if we come and take a look what comes with the kit here, it comes with a glue gun, it comes with glue sticks, obviously, this little bridge that's actually going to help us pop the dent out without force. It's actually going to do it for us. And then it also comes out with a pick where you can knock down the dent if it comes up too high. I'll tell you, for Dent Smart, we do use glue pull. This is a common, we don't necessarily use the bridge, but the concept of glue pull is something that we use, so I'm very interested to see how this is gonna work out today for a common person trying this out. All right guys, so while our glue gun heats up here, it takes about 5 minutes, we're gonna take a look at the dent that we're gonna be working on today. So if you come around here, we're in a standard garage setting. That's what most people are going to be in when they're working on a car in their garage doing a DIY dent repair. We brought in a light that we use typically in the PDR world that just helps you see the light better. Obviously you guys won't have that, you don't necessarily need that. But as you zoom in here, you'll see as we rock back and forth how the kind of light shines and curves. That's where you can see the full length and the full size of this dent. That's what we've circled in black here. So according to the instructions, this piece of equipment can fix anywhere from a 1.2 inch size dent all the way up to a 3 inch size dent. And that's what you're typically going to see if you get maybe a door ding on the side of your car from the grocery store or wherever you are. So if we put up here our measurement, you'll see with the black around that we're at about 2 inches. So that's right in that sweet spot of what this says that we can fix. So let's go ahead and see how it works. So our glue gun is all heated up. This kit comes with all different size pads here. That's what's gonna help us pull out the dent. We have chosen the largest size pad. You're supposed to pick the one that fits it the most. We've chosen the largest size. And then you're supposed to just apply the glue all the way around. It says to put plenty of glue on. So now that we have that on, it tells us to just apply the center part right to the center of the dent, which is what we're doing here. And then just to kind of let it rest for about 3 minutes. All right, so it's been about 3 minutes here, 3 minutes on the dot. So now what it tells you to do is just simply and slowly crank this black knob here until you hear a pop, which is popping the dent up. I will tell you, I watched a review on this earlier where the woman was doing it and this thing flew about 7 feet in the air, so I'm gonna try to avoid that happening, but I am still cranking this. I'm feeling some tension on it, but what it's claiming it's going to do, which we'll see, is the pressure should actually pull that dent directly up without you having to put force on it. The bridge actually does it for you. So you heard that pop. So why don't we come around and look at the dent now that we heard it pop out. So I am on the light here and I am seeing the dent. It looks like the dent is still there in full. It may be a little bit more shallow, but it does say that you may have to do this a handful of times before you actually get that dent completely out. So we're gonna take a break and we're just gonna run this through a couple more times and see how long it takes us to do it. Give our final evaluation of do it or dodge it, I want to mention one quick risk that is involved when you're doing a glue pull like this. So oftentimes in a glue pull, you pull it, the dent kind of arches up a little bit, so you have to push it down to flatten it, and then you have to pull it up again. It's common practice, but something you may not see is when you're pushing it up and down, you may crease that paint, which then could go to rust, and you may not even realize that it's happening until it's too late. So that could take your $17 investment where you think you're saving money by using this bridge and turn it into hundreds of dollars when you have to take it to a repair center to get that rust repaired conventionally. So if we zoom in on where the dent is now, I have circled here in black what it has gone down to. So it has shrunk somewhat. So remember, originally it was at 2 inches. Now we are about 1.5 inches. So it shrank about 0.5 inches. I will tell you a couple of things though. So doing that 5 times took us about an hour to do it. The second thing I'll tell you is it's hard to see, but when I run my finger across here, this is very bumpy because you're not every single time going to put that tab in the direct same spot. So it's pulling up high spots around it. So it is a little bumpy. So if we took more time, we'd have to knock those back down, pull it back up again to try to get that more even. And we're just not gonna do it. I think if you maybe did this about 20 times, that dent would probably come out a decent amount, not fully, but a decent amount. So after all of that and the risks that we talked about earlier with the rust, we are actually going to declare this a dodge it situation. Now, if you have a lot of time and you just maybe have an older car that you don't care as much about, I would say it's maybe worth trying it out, worth spending the time on it. But if you have a couple of these dents in your car, or if you have a nicer, newer car, you don't want to risk the rust and the paint damage, and you don't want to risk you still being able to see that dent. That's why we're declaring this a dodge it situation. Thanks so much, guys. Tune in for the next one.